Welcome to the class on molecular orbital theory. Yesterday, we have just discussed about the construction of molecules according to molecular orbital theory and some examples like simple homonuclear diatomic molecules. Uh, then we have also constructed molecular orbitals. Then we have also identified their magnetic properties, and we have also predicted its bond order. So from the bond order, we have also predicted whether a molecule exists or not. Right. Today we will just see the principles of molecular orbital theory and then how uh, these MOs will be generated from the atomic orbitals. Molecular orbital theory was basically proposed by Hunt and Mulliken. It is mostly based on the LCAO approach. LCAO approach means linear combination of atomic orbitals. So whenever we want to generate a molecule, the atomic orbitals on the individual atoms, they will come closer. So the two atoms will come closer. When the atoms come closer, their atomic orbitals will approach each other. They will overlap with each other and they form molecular orbitals. So this approach of atomic orbitals to generate molecular orbitals, that is what is called linear combination of atomic orbitals. Of course, in an atom, electrons occupy atomic orbitals, whereas in a molecule, electrons occupy molecular orbitals. The total number of MOs formed will be equal to the total number of atomic orbitals involved. So whenever we supply two atomic orbitals, then we also get two molecular orbitals. If we supply four atomic orbitals, we will get four molecular orbitals. So the number of atomic orbitals involved in the LCAO approach must result in the same number of MOs. For example, if two atomic orbitals are involved, then two MOs will be generated. Out of the two MOs, one orbital will be having lower energy, another orbital will be having higher energy. The lower energy orbital is called bonding molecular orbital, and the higher energy orbital is called anti-bonding molecular orbital. So in MOs, two types of orbitals will exist. One is bonding molecular orbital, another one is anti-bonding molecular orbital. Now we will take a simple example and see how this LCAO approach will lead to the generation of molecular orbitals from atomic orbitals and how we will draw the MO diagram. Just take hydrogen molecule where hydrogen atomic number is 1 and its electronic configuration is 1s1. Now the single electron will be in 1s orbital. Of course, if we want to have a hydrogen molecule, we must have two hydrogen atoms. When these two atoms approach each other, they will undergo orbital overlap. When they undergo overlapping, these two orbitals will approach each other in two different fashions. One is bonding, another one is anti-bonding. When these two orbitals approach each other with bonding interactions, they will give a resultant orbital like this. When they approach with anti-bonding nature, they don't overlap. So what happens? The orbital will move away from the nucleus. See here, nucleus is exactly at the center, whereas in anti-bonding orbital, nucleus is one side of the, it is not exactly at the center, it is one side in the circle. Similarly, this side. So this is what is called LCAO approach. This is bonding molecular orbital, this is anti-bonding molecular orbital, and we represent MO diagram like this. So these are atomic orbitals of hydrogens. We have 1s orbital here, 1s orbital here. When they approach, when they combine these two atomic orbitals, they will give two molecular orbitals. One is bonding molecular orbital, another one is anti-bonding molecular orbital. Bonding molecular orbital is represented as sigma 1s because it results in a sigma bond generation from 1s orbitals, and anti-bonding molecular orbital is represented as sigma star 1s because it is a anti-bonding orbital. It is represented with an asterisk. Now, when we draw the molecular orbital, we also fill the electrons. In hydrogen, we have one electron in each atom. So, in a hydrogen molecule, we have two hydrogen atoms. So, we have two electrons. Now, electrons are filled into the MOs according to their increasing order of energy. That means the two electrons first will be filled in sigma 1s. If there are more number of electrons, then we will go to sigma star 1s. If only two electrons are there, we will fill it in sigma 1s. So filling electrons in MOs, they also follow Aufbau principle. Next, when the atomic orbitals have similar energy, then most effective combination occurs. See, in this example, both are hydrogen atoms, both are having same energy. So here we can expect maximum overlap. If the involving orbitals are having different energies, then the overlap may not be a maximum. Okay, so that is why when AOs have the similar energy, the most effective combination occurs. We can derive the magnetic properties of the molecule from MO theory. If the molecule is having completely paired electrons, then the molecule is diamagnetic in nature. If the molecule is having unpaired electrons, then the molecule is paramagnetic in nature. We have already discussed the construction of MO diagram. I have just given a sample diagram. Here we will have 1s orbitals, 2s orbitals, and the 2p orbitals. So this is a complete diagram, complete MO diagram. Now we can also define bond order. What is bond order? As I said, bond order indicates the number of bonds present between two atoms. Now, how do we calculate the bond order? Bond order is equal to half of number of electrons in bonding orbitals minus number of electrons in anti-bonding orbitals. So this is the definition for bond order. Generally, the maximum bond order possible is 3. That means a molecule have 3 bonds between two different two atoms. When there are 3 bonds, we can say the bond length is very, very short. When the bond order is 2, we expect 2 bonds between the two atoms. Because there are only 2 bonds, we can expect a small increase in the bond length. If the bond order is 1, there is only a single bond between the two atoms. Now here the bond length is very high. Bond length is very high. So bond order and bond length, they are inversely proportional. They are inversely proportional. If bond order is high, bond length is low. If bond order is low, bond length is high. Another important point, bond energy. Bond energy is the energy required to break the bond. If there is a single bond, we can easily break this. But if there are two bonds, we need some more energy to break the two bonds. But if there are three bonds, we need even high amount of energy to break the three bonds. So bond order is directly proportional to bond energy. Bond order is inversely proportional to bond length, whereas bond order is directly proportional to bond energy. Remember this. Based on these, we will practice some problems. Yeah. Please leave some space, one page, then take this problem. Why does He2 plus molecule exist, whereas He2 does not exist? Right? Yesterday we have constructed MO diagram for helium-2 molecule. I have asked you to construct MO diagram for helium-2 plus molecule, and I asked you to comment based on the bond order. Now I will again repeat it. Helium atomic number is 2, electronic configuration is 1s2. Now we will construct the MO diagram for helium molecule. These two are 1s orbitals of helium. So these are AOs of helium. These are also atomic orbitals of helium. When we construct MO diagram, we will get two MOs. One is sigma 1s, another one is sigma star 1s. These are MOs of helium molecule, He2. These are MOs, these are AOs. Now we have two electrons in each helium atom. So this helium atom will have two electrons, this helium atom will have two electrons. Altogether we have 4 electrons. Now we need to fill these 4 electrons in the MOs. So the lower bonding orbital we will fill 2 electrons, and the higher energy anti-bonding orbital we will fill 2 electrons. Now the electronic configuration of helium molecule, electronic configuration of helium molecule is sigma 1s 2 electrons, sigma star 1s 2 electrons. Now we will calculate the bond order. Bond order is half of the number of bonding electrons minus number of anti-bonding electrons. Here we have 2 electrons in sigma orbital, we have 2 electrons in sigma star orbital. The orbitals with asterisk star mark are called anti-bonding. The orbitals without star mark, they are bonding. So here we have 2 electrons in bonding orbital, 2 electrons in anti-bonding orbital. So as a result, we get 0 bond order. We get 0 bond order. When the bond order is 0, what is the inference? Molecule does not exist. Yes, because bond order is 0 according to MO theory, helium-2 molecule does not exist. Now we will try to calculate He2 plus. What is He2 plus? If we remove one electron, then it generates He2 plus molecule. Now there are 4 electrons, so we will remove one of them. So in He2 plus, we will have only 3 electrons. We will have only 3 electrons. How do we fill them? We will fill 2 electrons in sigma 1s, 1 electron in sigma star 1s. We will fill 2 electrons in sigma 1s, 1 electron in sigma star 1s. Now the bond order is half of 2 minus 1, bonding electrons minus anti-bonding electrons. So 2 minus 1, 1.5. So the bond order is 0.5. Therefore, molecule exists. If the bond order is 0, that means there are no bonds between the two atoms, molecule does not exist. But if the bond order is non-zero, it may be 0.5 or 1 or 1.5, then the molecule exists.